Things are looking bad for the San Diego Padres as an overall dud of a performance from multiple players has led fans to be concerned, upset, maybe pissed off. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. Always happy to be back. Not happy with these Padre performances, just like I'm not happy with my backdrop always falling apart. Anyways, we got some stuff to talk about. Some trying not to be angry stuff, but probably will end up being a little angry stuff. Before we get into it, though, stick around to the end of the video because we do have some post-game fan reactions where I get you guys, the fans, involved. Post on Twitter, post on the subreddit. Maybe you'll be featured on the channel. And as always, please, subscribe. We just passed 1,500. Let's get 2,000, and then 10,000, and then 100 billion quadrillion thousand. That's not a real number. I don't care. Okay, let's start with our AJ Cassaville recap. Phillies 4, Padres 0. Zach Wheeler stifled the Padres' bats, as he always seems to do. True. Meanwhile, Matt Waldron struggled to locate his knuckleball in his return to the rotation. San Diego finishes June with a 13-15 record, its first losing month of the season. I don't think anyone's honestly that surprised by that. It sucks, but I don't think that's super surprising. So let's start with our lineup. Do the Padres not care right now? Because that's a legitimate question that I kind of want to get into. I'm not claiming they aren't, but we're going to talk about it. What went wrong with Waldron today? That is a nice alliteration. I didn't even notice. What went wrong with Waldron? And then, can we win a game against above 500 teams? I'm hoping that symbol means above 500, not less than 500. I'm not good. Please roast me if I'm stupid and I put that wrong. But Matt Waldron, we'll talk about you in a sec. So let's start with, do the Padres even care right now? This team has a hustle problem. The best player on the team, Manny, out here walking on groundouts and pimping singles. Xander pimping another wall ball that gives us a double instead of a triple. Nobody running out grounders to put any pressure on opposing defenses. I've always been low-key split on not running out grounders because obviously you want to teach your players the hustle and instill that into them. But also, I know it's a very long season, and if it's a routine ground ball, why would you want to possibly risk hurting yourself running? And let's be honest, Machado, I know, has a reputation for not hustling, but when he needs to hustle, he definitely hustles. But I want to show you this, right? This is a comment that I didn't use yesterday from Manny Machado from yesterday's game when we lost by 1 run. And I want to know how you guys feel about it. Let me see, actually. Let me show you this first, because this is where I got the quote from. In their past 45 games, the Padres are batting .202 with runners in scoring position, which is the second worst in the major leagues. They are 20 and 25 in this span. And then there's a quote from the San Diego Union from Kevin Acee. This is the quote that was on the picture, and I'm going to show you guys right now. I want to know what you think about it. This is what he said when he was asked about the game and their runners in scoring position and all that. There's no frustration. They won. It is what it is. They scored one more run than us. Simple. Nothing to it. Nothing to look at. There's nothing to worry about. Just keep playing baseball. There's nothing to be frustrated about. Can we have scored more runs? Yeah, absolutely. It's a game of baseball. Sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. I think we had a great at-bats. We hit the ball hard right at guys. I mean, there's not much we can do. Yeah, did we leave people on base? Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Are we disappointed? Yeah, we're disappointed that we lost, but it was a hard-fought game. I'm torn by this, because first of all, it feels like an absolute nothing burger of a quote, and I'm not saying that Machado has to do a whole famous JFK what's his face, Optimus Prime type speech every time a loss, but it just felt like a nothing burger of a response, and it kind of just gives me zero hope whatsoever. And because let's be honest, Machado is supposed to be, and is, I guess, the leader in this locker room. So, and I'm not saying that quote makes it sound like he doesn't care. I just wish there was a little bit more fire in it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm not trying to make him swear into a microphone these gosh dang players, we all suck right now. We're gonna yell at them all day and you guys suck. I don't need them to do that. I just need you to show me that there's a little bit of a hope and something to care about. Because yes, I mean, let's look at it again. So there's nothing to be frustrated about. What do you mean? There's a lot to be frustrated about. Like we just saw in this picture. We are 2-25 in the span where we're having a 2-0-2 with runners in scoring position. Is that not frustrating? And let's look more into it, right? There's not much we can do. Hit the ball. I mean, that's part of it. Are we disappointed? Yeah, we're disappointed that we lost, but it was a hard-fought game. There's no frustration. There is no frustration, guys. I'm not saying they're okay with losing. I'm just saying I wish you would give more of a crap. That's all I'm going to say. Because right now, things are looking bleak for us. Brooks today, though. Brooks did his job. 101.3 miles per hour liner off Wheeler, turning into a double play is bad luck. But the other 3 at-bats with runners in scoring position have all been strikeouts. 1 for our last 31 with runners in scoring position. It is borderline amazing to not have a 10-game stretch of good offense in 50-plus game stretch. A sustained period of bad offense with virtually no highs is a sad rarity. And I think next is that. We'll talk about that in a sec. So, do the Padres not care right now? And I mean, you could just see from the at-bats, you could see from the body language, you could see from the type of play, especially from Maldonado and Waldron today. I feel like that first couple of runs where, Maldonado has no idea how to catch Waldron's knuckleball. And, like, for some reason, I didn't even consider that possibility that, Maldonado doesn't know how to catch knuckleballs. So, when that one pass ball went by, I think it was Trey Turner, it was stole second, and then it was a walk, and then he ran to third. And I felt like Maldonado didn't even hustle to it. Waldron, when he, hesitated to run to first, and then didn't throw home, and they scored. And then just some of these at-bats where I felt like they were just, up there the swing, but we're actually trying. I don't want to say they weren't trying to hit, because obviously they are. It just felt like their demeanor was off, you know what I mean? Especially some of these Merrill at-bats where he's just swinging at absolute garbage. And I know it's been a common theme from this year, but he was swinging at garbage. And I know Zach Wheeler is one of the best pitchers in the league right now. I know he might win a Cy Young. That is no excuse to have 10 strikeouts against him. I know he's so good. But come on, 10 strikeouts. Merrill had 3 strikeouts. I'm so glad you had that nice catch that made Waldron look better. But that's all you did today, Merrill. Tatis has a 258 average. You know what's worse and sad about that? And I mean this in the most loving way possible. Bogaerts now has the same average as Tatis Jr. They both have 258. Tatis was at a 314 at some point. He was top 5 in the league there earlier in the year. 258. Does Tatis not care, or is he just bad now? I mean, Bogaerts has carried this team currently, which is crazy to say. Cronenworth has looked better, but not today. Bryce Johnson's Bryce Johnson. Maldonado. The thing I also don't get, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. Why are we starting Maldonado and then pinch hitting him and then just using Diaz? Why don't we just use Diaz the entire game? Obviously, I know they'll need breaks, but if you're going to put in Maldonado, at least keep Maldonado in there. Because, what's the point? He's Diaz isn't getting a break if he's just catching 3 innings, or he's playing a full games, and then instead of a break, he's getting a 3-inning game. Does that make sense? I might be chatting crazy, but it's just weird to me that we use Maldonado, but we don't actually use Maldonado. I mean, obviously because he sucks, but again, why is he on this team if he sucks? You know what I mean? And I feel like recently his effort value is just tanked. He can't even catch anything anymore. And I know Waldron was wild today, but come on. I guess we can talk about Waldron real quick. This video is going to be really long. I'm so sorry in advance. But let's talk about Waldron real quick, because Waldron looked doo-doo flakes. 4.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 6 walks. First of all, 6 walks, horrible. Second of all, it should have been 7 earned runs if it wasn't for Jackson Merrill. This game could have been 7-0, but whatever. But let's take a little deeper dive, right? The thing that happened today was interesting is that Waldron threw his knuckleball a lot more this start than I feel like he's ever thrown, because he used to be, at least last year, he was, I don't know what his percentage was for knuckleball usage, but I might have it in my next picture, but it was definitely a lot less than 72, right? But his grade on this was 54, which means it was not great, right? And it was pretty not, it was just not good, right? It was just not good. There's nothing more to it. His control was horrible. I mean, the 6 walks, like we said, and you can look at the graph. I don't want to just read off every single number, But if you're gonna throw the knuckleball and make it that your primary pitch, at least throw it well. You know what I mean? But I want to show you more stuff, right? So this is Waldron stats from last year. So what I want to show you, let's see, knuckleball from last year had a negative 10 run value, and he threw it, let's see, it says 38.2% of the time. So I guess he did throw it more than any other pitch back then, but it wasn't 74%, it was 38.2, which is a big difference. But his whiff percentage, so expected batting average on it was 226, slug 337. So it was definitely probably his best pitch, and it was hard hit the least. I'm looking at the bottom middle one. That made sense. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, you can look at the stats on his knuckleball. Expected on base average 303. On the one above, exit velocity was 85.2. I like the spin rate 244 because that's not what a knuckleball does. A knuckleball does not spin. I thought that was funny. But I also want to show you the monthly monthly splits, right? So in April 435, May 415, June 245, July 497, August horrible, and then pre-All-Star, post-All-Star. So yeah, we obviously saw him pitch pretty okay in the first half of the season. But what I actually want to show you, and I'll show you on the next slide, he only had a handful of good starts last year, to be honest. So, I mean, he had the okay starts in the beginning of the year, the Giants and the Dodgers, one earned run. I guess they're pretty good starts, right? And then this middle group that I highlighted are like his good starts. I mean, not allowing a lot of runs. And then you can just see it slowly trickle down. And then you get down to like the end of July, August, and it just looked horrible. So I guess September too. So he wasn't even that great of a pitcher last year, which is crazy to think because like when I remember Matt Waldron from last year, I don't know why that's there. Thank you guys for subscribing though. Why is that there? Hold on, I'm gonna fix that. Give me a sec. I have no idea how that happened. Anyways, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, but I remember Matt Waldron from last year. I remember him being like a really good pitcher for like the majority of the year. But in reality, he wasn't even like that effective. Obviously, he was a number 5 starter, so like I'm not expecting him to be like Michael King from last year. But like, I don't think he has major league talent, which sucks. Because I do like Waldron. I want to keep the knuckleball alive. People need him for MLB The Show so they can use knuckleballs online. But let's be honest, he's not, especially now that I've seen Berger and Kolek pitch, he's not major league level talent. And that's fine. Today was a wash, basically. What Wheeler versus our, throwaway pitcher, fine. Let's lose game 1. Let's win the next 2, if we can. But like we've noticed, not a great stat to look at. And then, I want to show you this, though. Elias Diaz caught Matt Waldron on the last day of 2024 regular season and allowed 1 passed ball. So why wasn't he starting when Maldonado's probably never even seen Waldron? I don't know. But yeah, Matt Waldron walked 6 over the 4 2/3, allowed 4 runs in his return to the rotation. The offense, meanwhile, hasn't done much with Zach Wheeler. The Padres trail 4-0, mid-6 in the Philadelphia. So we have a last point to go over, but this video is kind of long, so I don't know if I really want to talk about it. But I saw our record against 500 teams. I forgot to bring it up, but we're sub 500 against teams that are over 500. And those are the teams that we're going to play in the playoffs, if we make the playoffs. So that's kind of concerning. So yeah, I don't want to dive too deep into that because the video is getting kind of long. So we'll move on. I might have just brought it up. Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, let's move on to our Friar Faithful reactions, our Friar Faithful feed. Xander finally looking like the dude we paid for, and the rest of the offense is an absolute gnarly slump. Yeah, it sucks as baseball, but also it just sucks. The Padres need Yu Darvish and Michael King back soon, and the billion-dollar bat's time to actually produce. No excuse for this kind of offensive production with that payroll. Absolutely. We absolutely do need Yu Darvish and Michael King back. We've had update videos about that Christian has at least, so watch those if you haven't. And this team is just flat out boring to watch. It's the worst kind of bat to be. Yeah, Padres baseball has been pretty boring recently, and if I wasn't like doing something else while watching the game, I would have like cried while watching these games. But I want to give you one little last shred of hope before this video gets too long. Just a small reminder that the Padres were 40-39 before the All-Star break last year. Trust Preller, trust Shildt, trust the San Diego Padres. Still loads of season left. Too much negativity around the timeline at the moment. Yeah, a lot of negative people. A lot of you guys are fighting in the chats. And part of me likes it because I like the drama. But also, we're all fans of the Padres. We're all friends here. Let's just try to stay supportive. Let's try to stay positive. Let's just keep the vibes together because we still have a lot of season left. We just passed the halfway point of the season. So, yeah, let's keep the faith. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you feel about the offense. Are you super concerned right now? Do you think the Padres don't care? Or do you think it's just a mechanical issue or a mental issue? What do you think? How do you feel about Waldron? Is he major league talent or is he just sucked and we should get rid of him? And then, yeah, let me know how you guys feel about everything. And, of course, have a fantastic rest of your day. Please subscribe as always and go Padres. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Sorry for the long video, but bye.